Welcome to the Mixed Race Belonging podcast, where we explore the intersection of mixed identity and belonging through the lens of somatics and personal and collective liberation to help you heal your belonging wounds and reconnect with your innate wholeness through relationships, new experiences, and activism. I'm your host, Raina LaGrand, an embodiment coach for mixed race people with a background as a trauma therapist, yoga teacher, and health educator. The tools and insights I share with you here are the approach that has not only helped me heal my belonging wound, but also helped me help my mixed race clients do the same. We all need something good to belong to right now. Relationships and spaces where we feel safe, held, seen, heard, and dignified. Thanks for being here, and let's get started with today's show. Hey, y'all, welcome back to the show. Today, February 24th, is an exciting day because tonight is my free workshop that I'm hosting called The Belonging Blueprint. This is an experiential workshop where I'm going to be teaching you my 3-step somatic strategy to help you feel safe and secure in your body and in your relationships. And it's another opportunity to connect with other mixed people, which is always really nice. If you are wondering, how can I feel more comfortable in social situations when it feels like people don't fully understand me, what I've experienced, or what you're going through, then this workshop is for you. You are going to learn how being othered as a mixed person obscures you from a sense of connection and belonging, why focusing on how you self-identify and other kind of mental traps keep you from finding a sense of belonging and feeling safe to try new things and put yourself in new spaces, my 3-part somatic strategy, as I mentioned, and how I can help you restore your body's blueprint for belonging. You will walk away from this workshop knowing that you can feel more comfortable in your body, even if you're the only person in the room who looks like you. You can feel more secure in your relationships without anticipating abandonment all the time. And you can initiate new friendships without worrying that you're going to be rejected once they know the real you. And again, one of the most amazing things is that we get to do all this learning together with other mixed people who you don't have to explain yourself to at all. The link is in the show notes to sign up. It's not too late to sign up. If you sign up, you will get the replay, even if you can't make it live, which is really nice because even if you do make it live, you can keep coming back to the recording to experience the practices that we're going to do. And I'm so excited because during the workshop, registration is going to open up for Belonging Building Blocks, which is my group program for mixed people who want to feel held, feel grounded, and feel at home in their bodies everywhere you go. The Belonging Blueprint is a really great taste of what you can expect in Belonging Building Blocks, though, of course, Belonging Building Blocks is going to take everything a step deeper. We're going to be exploring both more as far as like depth and breadth of these concepts. And I'm going to share with you all today some stories about past Belonging Building Blocks participants so that you can really see what's possible for you if you attend, because this program is my baby and I'm so proud of it. It has proven so powerful and so effective time and time again. So let me tell you about Jazz and Katy. So Jazz, who is Black and white biracial, came into Belonging Building Blocks feeling frequently unfulfilled with the ways that their partner and their friends expressed care. Jazz is a super like highly attuned and giving person. She's really wonderful, and she felt like she was doing a lot more than all the people in her life, and she wanted more in return, which I have some parts who can definitely relate to Jazz in that. One of the things that we explore and that I teach you about in Belonging Building Blocks is this framework called the relational movement cycle. The relational movement cycle is essentially how we somatically experience our attachments to other people. And one thing that we do in Belonging Building Blocks is we get really curious about how our body has experienced relationships in the past and how that's showing up in our relationships now. Kind of like what's the story that your body is telling about how you've experienced connection and belonging? Because that past is sort of like creates like these glasses that you are then seeing your existing relationships through. And because of some of Jazz's past relationships and her family and other friends and partners, she started to realize that she was so focused on the ways that her friends and her partner weren't meeting her needs that she was really missing all the ways that they were expressing care. And not that the things that she wanted weren't valid, but just that she wasn't able to actually just enjoy what she was getting from her relationships, even if she also felt like, I want a little bit more or a little bit something different. So we use the relational movement cycle to explore Jazz's patterns in relationships. And then we use the cycle as well as some parts work or internal family systems therapy, if you're familiar, to help Jazz to come into deeper relationship with the parts of her that were really feeling the weight of this lack and this loss because in not feeling met in the ways that she wanted to, she kind of felt like her needs were invisible. And so she really worked on really witnessing and holding herself in her experience and being witnessed and held by the others in the group because she was able to really talk about her experience and have other people really understand and validate her experience. And because then she was able to deepen a relationship with her feelings and better understand what was happening inside instead of just kind of reacting and feeling unmet, she felt more available to open up to the ways that her community was showing up for her and to feel more secure in her existing relationships since as they were. She says that since participating in belonging building blocks, her friendships have improved and her community feels stronger, and she feels more equipped in her partner to receive love and care in the ways that they are able to express it, as well as to like take care of those parts of her who are holding the memories of past relationships where she felt like where she actually really wasn't getting what she needed, which is just so beautiful to me. Now, the next story I'm going to share with you is kind of like the reverse story of Jazz's, but I think it shows how everything that we're all healing from, like it's very unique, and sometimes what I need more of, you need less of, or vice versa. So let me get into it and you'll see what I mean. Before working with me, Katy, who's Filipina and Irish, she had already started doing some really great healing work around her relationships. She was practicing setting boundaries, but then she would often like waffle on them. She was scared of asserting her boundaries and really holding them true, and she was afraid of letting go of relationships because what if she was quote unquote supposed to just work with what was going on? The only way that Katy knew how to be in relationships was as a people pleaser, grasping for connection. And she knew that if and when she did decide to distance from relationships, that she would feel so vulnerable that her pattern was often to swing in the opposite end of the spectrum and just go full lone wolf mode. I helped Katy by in belonging building blocks, teaching her about the somatics of belonging, which she says really cracked open this other way to think about the world that she hadn't before. It gave her a different vantage point to think about her relationships and how she was showing up in them. And then Katy also booked a one-on-one deep dive call with me where I got to coach her one-on-one on some of the perspectives she'd internalized around how she was, kind of supposed to just like mindfully zen accept people for what they are, which, yes, people are who they are, but she realized that she was settling instead of really discerning how she really felt about her relationships and if they actually felt worthwhile for her to stay in them. And then we came up for a plan for how she could be both vulnerable and courageous in reaching for connection with the right people so that she wouldn't go into that lone wolf mode but from a grounded place where she wasn't abandoning herself. And as a result, Katy was able to walk away from a long term relationship without fear of being all alone. This was a relationship that had just been past its expiration date. And she was able to balance her need for connection with the right people and that much desired post breakup solitude that she really did want and crave without kind of getting stuck in the aloneness or in the grasping. And I think interestingly, Katy is not the first person I have supported through leaving a relationship in belonging building blocks. So you can see how the work that I did with Katy was really helping her to feel agency in leaving a relationship, while the way that the work landed for Jazz was sort of helping her to connect to a sense of like gratitude and openness around a relationship that she wanted to stay in. I think this just goes to show that the medicine that is in belonging building blocks, the somatic work around the relational movement cycle and attachment, the work of coming into deeper relationship with yourself. This can meet you in so many different places depending what kind of challenges you're running into relationship wise. I want you to be in the right relationships, romantic, friendship, or otherwise. I want you to feel satisfied and fulfilled in those relationships. But it is so easy to stay caught in our patterns because that's what feels familiar to our body. And sometimes familiar feels safer for our body than actually what would feel more fulfilling and like life giving. And really, sometimes all we need is the right container, the right support, the right validation, the right encouragement to just feel brave enough to take that step, that leap towards feeling more belonging. There are so many more stories from belonging building blocks that I could share, and I am sharing in my emails and on social media over the coming couple weeks here when registration is going to be open for belonging building blocks. So make sure you keep an eye out for those and reach out if you have any questions about belonging building blocks. But like I said, tonight, the Belonging Blueprint Workshop is a great opportunity to get a taste of what to expect in belonging building blocks. And then registration is opening up. This is a group program that will be a group of 5 to 10 of us. So space isn't unlimited. So I definitely recommend if you're interested to make sure that you get registered sooner than later. As soon as you get registered, I will get you linked into our Signal group chat and I will send you the digital guidebook that's going to have all the like resources and like major concepts that we'll cover in the group. You can have a different experience as a mixed person when it comes to belonging in your relationships and in the world, and it is time to start that journey. And I will be so honored to get to support you in that process. Everything you need is in the show notes, and I can't wait to talk to you soon.